Let's go.
Yeah.
Is it on there?
Yeah.
Hello.
Hello.
And welcome back
To Common Sense for Relationships.
Yes, on this channel we bring you valuable information to help you make better decisions in your lives and in your relationships.
Yeah.
And today is no different from other days. We are going to visit a very interesting topic. And I think today is going to be an eye-opener. And I'll let my husband tell you a bit about that topic.
Well,
But before we do that, right, we have to remind everybody. My name is Anietie Bature.
and my name is Anietie Bature. So I think you guys, wherever you are watching us from, UAE, Dubai, Qatar, Lagos, Cameroon, please just share the link. Share the link, okay? And let's get this show on the road, okay? I can see Debbie online. Debbie, how are you doing? Debbie, it's like you're in two places at the same time, because I know that you're in another program. But well done, and thank you for joining us all the same. To everyone that is watching us, today is quite interesting. What is wrong? This is episode 3 of our What is Wrong series. So the question is, what is wrong with dating?
What's wrong with dating? As in dating as a whole, or?
Are you asking me? As me as me, I'm like this. Yeah. If you're asking me, who should I ask? Who should I ask? So, but what is wrong with dating? Because actually, you know that some churches, if you mention dating, it's like you have seen them. So that's why we have to ask the question: is dating? What is the problem? What is the hula value of dating? Then we also have to ask: what are the do's and the don'ts of dating? If in your church or in your circle it's not a sin and it's not taking you straight to hell, what should you do to ensure that you stay on the straight and narrow and don't get to hell before your time? Do you understand?
Yeah.
So those are the things we want to talk around. Those
Yeah.
are the things we want to tinker with.
Yes.
And and the way today's show is going to go, I am going to leave my honorable wife, to give you the definition, as she always does. Do you understand? When she knows how to define certain things in certain ways that makes it. Do you understand? Because if you leave me, if you ask me what is dating, I'll tell you dating is an action that you do on a date. Date in is a doing word. It's a verb. So dating is the actions you do on a date. So
Oh my goodness. You know, this time around, I'm just going to go straight to reading this from the dictionary.
okay.
Yes.
Read on.
And let me see. This is loveisrespect.org, and this is what they've said. Okay, dating means different things to different people, particularly across generations. Okay, and then it said dating is two people in an intimate relationship. Okay, and now that's why they're saying it means different things to different people. And this is why you will understand why churches are against this, why some churches, once you mention the word, it's a problem.
It's a
Because
problem.
in some contexts, to some people, dating means that you are in an intimate relationship and it may include sex. Okay, but it doesn't have to be. In some other cultures, in some other contexts, as defined by other people, it doesn't have to include sex.
Oh, I see.
So
why
because
those
of
churches,
the yes, because of the ambiguity
of the definition.
yes, and the fact that it means different things to different people in different places, that is why there's an issue with dating. So that means that if we want to talk about dating, we have to say exactly what we mean.
So if we want to talk about it, we want to say exactly what it is we are talking about. That means if you now say to somebody, I would like to go out with you on a date, it means that you now have to actually tell the person what exactly you are telling them.
Exactly.
You have to tell them what exactly you are telling them.
Yeah. And before we go too far, I'll just get our Instagram family to come.
Oh, Instagram, are they joining us today?
Yes, they are.
You have to make sure that they see me in a good light.
In a good light.
Because I need to know whether the light is falling on me properly. They have to see me in a good light.
Don't worry, we'll take care of you. We'll protect your interests.
Yes, please. Protect my career.
Oh my goodness. Very interesting. Okay. All right. So they'll be with us shortly. And so what is dating? What are we talking about when we talk about dating?
Okay, so for me, simply put, like I defined it at the beginning, dating is what you people do on a date. So if you don't understand the definition of the word, it means that if you tell a lady, I want to date you, I want to take you out on a date, you need to tell her exactly what you are going to be doing on the date. That's why it's dating.
Because it means different things to different people. We really need to emphasize this, please. So if you are a Nigerian living in Nigeria, for instance, and then tomorrow you move to another continent or to another country,
definition might change.
So don't just assume when you tell somebody, oh, can we go on a date? Don't assume that what you think you mean
is the same thing
what they understand.
That they are understanding.
They might be understanding something completely different. Yes, our IG people are coming on. Welcome, you guys. We're talking about dating, and before we start talking too much about it, we'll just remind everybody as they are coming in. It means different things to different people. It means different things to different people. Please take note. And that's why a number of people are a little concerned about using the word. Because in some contexts, dating is seen as a relationship that includes sex. Right?
So if the person says they want to take you on a date and your own date does not include sex, you already know your answer.
You already know the answer, but then that's depending on what the person means.
So that means, let's settle it now. Let's settle it. So are we trying to say that the moment anybody tells you, this is for single people, married people, I'm sorry, you're already dated. already dated. So for single people, we want to say that if you are single and somebody wants to take you on a date, it needs to be very clear what exactly they want to do.
And I think and I think this is where communication is so important in everything. In everything relationship, communication is so important. And that's why, and you have to use it here once again. So when someone tells you, can we go on a date? You need to be clear. Please, what exactly do you mean?
What exactly do you mean?
Don't.
Well, what
Some
are
people
we
say,
doing?
I don't want to be too forward.
Hey.
You know, I don't want to be too forward, so I don't want to ask it to be like too direct, or to be as if I'm trying to.
Baby, let us say this in that. All those people that usually say, I don't want to be too forward, I don't want to be too. See, listen, the word itself is in fast forward. So if you are not forwarding enough, it means that you are being left behind. So if you are not forward enough, somebody will marry your husband. This story. As in, the guy that you are trying to say, I'm not, I don't want to be too forward. Somebody will fast forward and they will forward together to the finish line.
So please just be comfortable asking for clarity when it comes to these relationships.
I like the way you said that thing, because my professor, he was very careful to stop me. You know, there's a way we speak English in this country. We just speak English and we just take something, and meanwhile it's not the correct thing. Listen, you know, I used to say clarity. You understand? And I know there are plenty people, very good English speaking people, that are still saying clarity. You understand? So I said, please, can you help me clarify? Until my professor now stopped me and said, excuse me, what did you just say? I said, clarify. He said, no, spell it. I said, ma, she said, spell it. I said, Clarify. Then she said, pronounce it. I said, clarify. She said, thank you. I said, she stopped the whole class. That's why I had to stop this whole recording. So I will give somebody
I'm
the
sure
difference.
you never make that mistake.
For where?
After the entire class.
Exactly. She stopped the whole class in order to give me this. So anytime I hear it, I want to stop whatever. The other day I was listening to news and one of the ladies said, when the moment she says clarify, I say, hey. Okay. All right, so you can continue with your show.
Yes. So as I was saying, you have to be willing, okay, to ask for clarity when someone says, let's go on a date. Okay? And for the purpose of this discussion, we are talking about the date that has to do with two people getting to know each other, okay, especially when it leads to, or when they hope that it will lead to marriage. So this is like, I'm in a relationship with you. I'm trying to get to know you.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get to understand you. I'm trying to get to find out certain things about you, so that I'll know whether or not we are even going to be discussing this issue of marriage, or considering
that we are going in the same direction at all.
Yes. So are you do you have access to comments today?
I have to check. We'll take the comments. There are some comments, but the way technology is doing us today, so we'll take the comments. Yeah.
Okay.
So let's just shoot forward.
So I'll just welcome everyone who has joined us so far on IG, on Facebook, on YouTube. Thank you so much for being on the show today. Okay, so somebody will say, at what point should I start talking about dating? If I see somebody today, right now, can I say to the person, hey, you look good, I like you, let's go on a date, full stop?
But they used to do it like that in film now.
When I like the way you said the film.
In film, and you know,
it's not in movies.
No, it's film.
It's film. That makes it sound very scattered. As if anything you see there, you're on your own.
Yes, that's why it's called film. Accept, consume at your own risk.
Yes, so that would guide us to, let's talk about the very important thing, the very key thing for this whole dating issue. Okay, so let's say you want to get to know somebody, and it could be at any point that someone says, hey, I would like to go on a date with you. Okay, it could be that this person has been your friend for a long time, so you know them to some extent, you're safe around them, you are not concerned about getting harmed or anything like that. In which case, yes, the person can say, let's go on a date, and it's not much to worry about, because hey, this is your friend, this is your pal, right? But peradventure you meet somebody maybe for the first time, and for the first few minutes of your interaction, it feels like, hey, there's something here, like the vibe, we talk about vibe a lot.
Yes.
So the vibe, we're
Young,
vibing.
young people, and they have to like to vibe.
Like your energy, I feel your energy. It's like we're on the same wavelength or something,
I hear you.
Yeah. So just in case it's that kind. So someone will say, "Oh, are you trying to say if I just meet someone for the first time, I can't go on a date with them?" No, that's not what we're saying. We're saying if you want to do that, then you have to remember safety first. Okay? Safety first is not for oil and gas industry alone. It's not for mining alone. It's not for those dangerous, those occupations that have a lot of risk built in. Safety first also applies in relationships. If you do not know somebody, if you have never met these guys or these ladies, friends, family, there's nothing that connects you people to other people, or to should I say settings that will ensure your safety. You can't just wake up and say, "Oh, we're going on a date. He fixed the place, he fixed the location, and I am going." Like I am going, like I am just going. No, you can't do that. You can't do that. You can't say, "Oh, well, I don't really know the place, but he sent me the address. I'll just get an Uber to take me there," and you don't know the place. You haven't checked. No,
my brother,
no.
that risk,
Especially ladies, please don't be doing that thing. I've seen so many nonsense videos of ladies who, in quotes, went on a date and followed some guy to some place that was they knew nothing about the place, and it wasn't even the kind of place where you say they have the safety of number, safety of the public. And next thing you're seeing video of something happened, somebody got raped, it turned out the guy was a part something, human trafficker, what they call them. Then next thing they've chopped you and they've sold your body parts.
It's not your portion.
You can't take that risk. So please remember, everybody, safety first. Safety first. So I am asking ladies in particular, of course, you know why now, because they'll say a number of times the person you meet may be stronger than you, unless you're one of those ladies who has done, you want to do taekwondo, and you're ready to defend yourself, and by the time the person shows up and tries anything, you just do and you just scatter the place, including the person. If you have that kind of energy, right? Or maybe you're in a country where you can have your own little pistol, and then your hand is just there, nicely located, close to the device, so that if anything happens, just break out and say, "Hey, you cannot strike. Get out of the way, and I'm leaving this place," or something. If you don't have those things in place, people, make sure that you are the one who is defining where to meet, especially ladies. I'm talking about this safety thing because it is really, really important. Yes, it is very important. Make sure you know the place. Make sure you are making significant input as to where that place is going to be. Please don't expose yourself to harm or to danger in the name of "I'm going on a date," especially with a stranger. Okay, there are many places that are public view, right? Access. There's many exits. If something happens, you can take off, or in fact, something happens, you can just raise an alarm right there, and people around will come to your rescue. So in cases like that, you need to look for, like, go to a restaurant where you are going to have other people, or go to a fast food joint where there are other people, or go to let the first date be something like go to a mall, or go to a movie theater or something. Just go to places where there are other people, so that if anything is going wrong, you can raise an alarm and there'll be people to come to your rescue and you get out of there. Please, let's establish that one first. So, safety first. Say it after me. Safety first. I'm just feeling like a teacher right now, but that is so important. Safety first. Protect yourself. The aim is not for you to have the date. The aim is for you to find out about this person, and to do that in a way that you will still come back. You will live to tell the story, okay? In case it's some crazy person that approached you and has all the charm and you didn't know. Yes, I know guys will say, it's not only ladies that are in danger, though. Have you not seen where a lady overpowers a man? Have you not seen? Yeah, that happens too. So, everybody, the advice goes to you all, safety first. All right, so right about now, I would like to read some of the comments that have come in, and let's see how am I going to achieve that. IG people, give me a moment. I'm going to just move over to here. Today, this just take it as it is. Today's show is very interesting. Some things are not in the right place, but you know what I'm talking about. So I'm going to just roll over to this side, and you can follow me. If you can, just on the camera. IG people, I hope you're listening. And yes, see, over here we have some comments by Enobong. I see you. This is so interesting. Hi, Debbie, I see you. Pastor Rehoboth, thank you so much for joining us. And he says, is that the topic? Yes, that's the topic. And Debbie, thank you, thank you. Chinedu Udensi. Let's see. What did Chinedu say now? Chinedu says to me, dating is more like knowing someone deeply beyond the surface, physically, psychologically, emotionally. You see the problem here. Chinedu adds sexually to his own, etc. Okay, thank you, Chinedu. He also says these days, ladies don't consider LMRA. That is these days, ladies don't consider. Chinedu says ladies don't consider last minute risk assessment. That they just go in, and maybe that's part of it, maybe that's a desperation thing, because some people would think, hey, I really, really want to get to know somebody. I've not been in a relationship for such a long time. I've tried everything and there's nobody that is approaching me. Now that this one guy has managed to ask me, let me not now come and do too many rules, so that he will say he's not doing again, and then I will now be left alone for yet another how many years. They don't want that. Okay, so that may be the reason, but please don't be desperate. Your life is so much more important than any relationship. Your life, I'm telling you guys, your life, ladies, your life is so much more important than any relationship. So if you are considering dating, remember to factor in safety. Thank you so much, Chinedu. And then Eno says, I think while going on a date with a fresher, your location should be an open space. And if possible, go with a responsible friend. If possible, go with a responsible friend. Okay. And then if you're going with that responsible friend, somebody will say, make sure you plan to pay for your friend. Make sure you plan to pay for the friend, though. If you're ordering food, the responsible friend should be on another table, and you have paid for their food. Don't expect me to come and pay for your friend in the name of safety. I'm not doing. So thank you very much, Eno. Chinedu says, when I go to places I don't know, I send my live location to at least 2 of my friends. So this is the beauty of technology. You can send your live location to your friends, you can send it to your family members, to people that care about you, so they'll know where you were. But if something goes wrong because you said you went to a place, you sent live location, and it is a place where help cannot come to you quickly when you're in trouble, they will just know where to come and find you or where to come and start looking for you after you've gone missing. So you still have to factor in that, where exactly is the place? Is it a safe location? Okay, and then Imo Friday says, for safety purposes, aside the fact that the place should be accessible, as a lady, you should choose the place you want him to meet you. Yes. So thank you so much, Imo, for sharing that. Ladies, you should be really, really involved in choosing the place where you meet your date. Okay, guys, I'm just enjoying this chair, rolling through the set. And just reading comments. Thank you so much, everyone, for sharing your comments. My IG family, I'm expecting your comments too at any point. And the phone is in close enough proximity for me to read your comments. Woo, 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 woo. Yes, okay. So next, another thing that you need to consider is, what is the purpose What are you really trying to achieve with a date? Why do you need a date? What is it for? What do you want to achieve? Someone said if the purpose of a thing is not known, abuse is inevitable. I'm sure you've all heard this before. If the purpose of a thing is not known, abuse is inevitable. If you don't know the purpose of a date, anything can happen. If you don't know the purpose of date, it can go anyhow. If you don't know the purpose of the date, things you did not expect or did not anticipate could happen. So you need to know the purpose of the date so that you can get what you want out of it. So it's just like when you go for some meetings, you don't just say, "Oh yeah, we're having a meeting." Okay, where? You say the place. What is it about? Well, I don't really know. When we get there, we'll find out. No, it's not when we get there, we'll find out. You have to go in with purpose in mind. What do I want to get out of this meeting? So please, you can tell us in the chat what are some of the top 3 things, maybe what your top 1, your top 2 things that you look out for when you go on dates. What's the purpose? What is the purpose? Why bother with a date? Why not just sit down at home and do your thing? Or why not just say, let's scan through the list of eligible bachelors in town. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, pick up the phone, call this one. Hey, are you available? Would you like to get married this weekend? And the guy says, what's your address? Say, where you come from? Say, tell something. 1, 2, 3. Okay, I'm game. No. Why do you go through the trouble of getting to meet somebody, of getting to spend time with them, of getting to ask questions, of getting to do all of that stuff? What's the purpose? I would like to see some of those comments come in. What's the purpose? But I don't just want to say this should be the purpose, because you know how it is now. I'll tell you what the purpose should be, and then it will turn out that some people have really interesting purposes now for dates that we didn't used to have before. So let's see. Purpose. What's the purpose? Someone says, yes, Pastor Remy says dating is okay. And he says, let's see, you can only marry your friend, and the only way you can ascertain that is in the course of dating. Exactly. So that oh my goodness, Pastor Remy, you have just given us the answer to this question. That's one of the answers. And that is for you to get to know the person. I'll read his comment again. He says, you can only marry your friend, okay? And the only way for you to ascertain, yes, for you to ascertain that is in the course of dating. Is in the course of dating. So that is one of the purposes. You want to ascertain whether this person is your, in quote, friend, right? You want to ascertain certain things about the person. If this person is a reasonable match for you, this person is going to be a good spouse, a good pair, a good husband, a good wife, right? That's what you want to ascertain, and that's one of the purposes for dating. Thank you so much, Pastor Herbert. Okay, so let's see. Any more? Okay, so I'll just wait for your comments to come in on Facebook and on YouTube and over here on IG. And while we do that, I'll just tell you, you really need to decide for yourself, what's the purpose of this date? Yes, I want to get to know this person. That's a given. That's like basic, that's foundational. That's the ultimate. I want to get to know this person, right? And get to know whether we can work, whether we can do life together, right? Whether there is a synergy, whether our paths can merge in a beautiful union. You know how one person can come from here, one person can come from here, and they just come and it is whash, a catastrophic collision, right? While some other people can come, this person from here, this person from here, and there's a synergy and they can flow together, right? It's just beautiful when that happens. But then you want to know, are you two such, right? Two of you together, are you the kind that there's a synergy, there's a beautiful union, and you can continue with your lives together? Or are you the kind that when you come together, it is catastrophic, destruction, things flying, punches, everything is happening, harsh words coming left, right, and center, people having emotional trauma, people experiencing physical trauma, all sorts. You need to know. You need to know. So dating is one of the things that will help you find out, and it's really important that you know that this is the end game. I need to find out if this person can be a good match for me. I need to find out if this person can be my life partner, if we have a future together. And it's not just, I mean, people can have any future together. It's not just any future, but it's a future of joy, a future of peace, a future that enables you to become the best version of yourself, a future that helps you to fulfill God's plan and purpose for your life. So you have to think about that. It's not just a future, because anything can be a future. If your reality could be such that you are depressed for the rest of your life, that's also a future. But is that the kind of future you want? Your reality can be such that you keep going from house to house to say, hey, see what my husband did. Hey, you should my help me. This married thing could not tell me that this is how it is. No. That can be a future, but does that have to be your future? So you decide, what kind of future do I want? What kind of future am I looking forward to? And then, based on that, you are going to say, these dates that I'm going for, this relationship that I have to try to get to know this person, the purpose is to see, can I have this kind of future, this beautiful one, this great one, this happy one, this refreshing one, this enabling one, this empowering one, right? This supportive one. Can I have that future? You define what that future is and check if this person can help you to get there. So, with that in mind, we move to the next point. And the next point is questions. Questions, questions, questions. What are you going to talk about on the date? Some people say, well, I'll just see if he loves me. And I hope that maybe on the first date he'll tell me, oh, you're beautiful and something, and I have feelings for you. I mean, some people are excited about somebody telling them from the day one, like, I have feelings for you. There's this strong, like, oh my goodness, when you walk into the room, whoosh, butterflies coming. Yes. Some people some people look for that. No harm, right? But is that the end game? No. Is that what your focus should be? No. What should you be looking for? Okay, so let's see. Let's see. Just give me a minute here. I'm trying to. Yes. Umo is on the show. Umo is on the show. Hi, Umo Peters. Thank you so much for joining us today. She says, dating allows you to get to know each other. Yes. And then she says, purpose of dating. Yes, thank you so much. And then Imo also says, purpose of dating to get to know each other. Number 2, marriage. Chinedu, you're on fire today. Chinedu says dating, I think, is more like pre-marriage for those willing to go fast. So I look out for the qualities of a mother, qualities of a hustler, and a comforter while dating. Now, I'm leaving Chinedu's comments there for us to consider, because Chinedu is looking for, from his comments, someone that you can spend your life with. But then he included mother. And you wonder why he's looking for a mother. He's looking for a mother for himself. No, because possibly in Chinedu's future, he plans to have children. So if he plans to have children, he has to be thinking about the well-being of his children. So Chinedu, I am clapping seriously for you this evening, because this comment you have made is a very important one. Why do I say so? There are a lot of people who do not pay attention to the kind of person that they are going to, or they plan to get married to, or they are considering for marriage. They don't pay attention to the aspect of how will it affect their children if they intend to have one. Somebody will just say, oh, he's fine, he has money, and then maybe you stop there. But you haven't thought about the fact that he has a serious temper, and that when he gets angry, he will bash anything that is in plain sight, right? You say, well, I know how to handle him. I know how to manage him. Yes, you know. But what about the children? Will they know how to? When he gets angry, about anything, will they know how to escape his wrath? Will you be there to protect them and to teach them how to escape being bashed by their, in quote, father? So you see, you're not supposed to stop at just looking out for this person for just yourself. If you intend to, if you intend to have children, then you had better be checking if that person will be a good father and if that person will be a good mother. Okay, check. If you are clueless about what to look for, ask some of your senior friends, ask some of your senior relatives, what should I look out for? What signs can tell me that this person is going to be a hazardous parent? What signs should I look out for? Right? So that they tell you and you begin to see, I've seen this, I've seen this, I've seen this. Or you check, oh yes, that's there. Oh yes, this is, oh fantastic. It seems like this guy is going to be an amazing parent, right? So look out for those things, please. It's really important. This life or your future is not just about you. If you intend to have children, think about the well-being of the children as well when you are considering your partner or the person that you are on a date with. Okay, so let's see. Chinedu, thank you very much once again for that. And then Debbie. Debbie says, is it okay to do PowerPoint presentation? PowerPoint presentation during dating. Debbie, oh. That's interesting, Debbie. Debbie, do you mean PowerPoint as in you are presenting to the person? These are the things I expect from you. Oh yeah, answer the question. Do you mean number one, bullet one? Do you mean bullet two? No. Debbie, that would be crazy. But I can imagine that someone has done it somewhere. I mean, nothing is impossible. But yes, you can prepare the PowerPoint for yourself if that is what helps you in doing your analysis, in doing your own thinking, in doing your own considerations. If putting things in PowerPoint makes your life better, by all means, please go ahead. Hi, all my IG people. I see you all. Thank you so much. Hi. Thank you. Okay, so if PowerPoint will help you, Debbie, by all means, use it. If Excel helps you, use it. If Word document helps you, use it. I am tempted to say, if AI helps you, use it. Any analytical tool that you say will help you to try to understand this person more, go ahead, use it. It's for good, right? It's to help the process. So don't say, oh, I know this tool, but I don't think I can apply it to relationships. Bring all your arsenal. That's what I usually say. Every strength you have, every skill you have, every tool you have, everything that can help you in the decision making process, bring it on. If your special tool is waiting on God and hearing from Him directly, like getting a dream or a vision, bring it on. If it is that you put 2 and 3 Bible passages together and it means that Amos is the man, please bring it on. But just make sure that it is a tool that you have used well in the past and you are sure of the results that you have gotten. With hindsight, you can say, yes, that was the right decision, and that was the right decision, and that was the right decision. You can bring those tools and apply them when it's time to make the decision of a life partner. It is not when it is not when you want to get married that you now start learning how to use a particular tool, and then you want to use that to make a decision that will affect you for the rest of your life. Maybe I see your response there. AI, yes, it's very common because people are using AI for everything. So I know that I can imagine that some people have already started using AI in relationships, and we will soon find out how they are doing it. But if you have that as a tool, please go ahead and consider it if you're good at using it. So it's just to factor in everything, because really what you're trying to do is understand this person better. So like I said, with all that you have in mind about your future, now you know I'm going to ask questions. And the purpose of the questions I'm asking is to help me find out this and that and that. So what's important to you, you need to know. And maybe keep that PowerPoint that Debbie was talking about, keep it at home, or that Excel, keep it at home, right? And then write out the things you want to know. So when you go in for that discussion or for that date or whatever, you're not just going and talking about things that don't add any value. You spend 30 minutes talking about the weather, spend another 30 minutes talking about Nigeria, and spend another 30 minutes talking about a movie, and then you say, oh, we spent 1 hour 30 minutes together and we talked all through. And somebody will ask you, what's his surname? You're like, oh, did he say Okonkwo or was it Okonji? I can't remember. I'll find out on the next date. You're wasting your time. Go with questions that will help you find out what will help you decide, is this the person or not? That's the whole idea. So go in there prepared. For instance, I want to know whether this guy is open to marrying somebody who will be a career person, or he is the typical so and so kind of person who expects that his wife will be a stay-at-home mom and so on. Because for you, you want to be a career person. So you need to find out. So somewhere in that discussion, you should ask that question. And if you are interested in knowing if this guy is planning to, for instance, leave Nigeria in this Japa day and age, right? If it's not, you need to find out. So find out also what do you feel about, so if you're talking about Nigeria now, what do you feel about Nigeria, something, where your siblings, what do you plan to leave, do you plan to, find out. Because it's not the one that you say, Nigeria, this is where I'm going to be. I must raise my children in Nigeria because Nigeria still has values and something, and you have these strong convictions about Nigeria. And then you don't bring it up. Meanwhile, the guy has already started applying for one of the countries and is almost getting it, in which case he will be expecting you to join him or something. You need to find out these things. Find out everything that you need to know that will help you make that decision, okay? Or for instance, you want to marry somebody from your tribe. Find out where it's from. We want to marry somebody that shares the same faith with you. Find out. Some people say, I want to marry somebody from the same church, the same synagogue, the same temple. Find out if the person shares those values, those beliefs, shares that faith, shares all of these things that you are concerned about. Find out. You can't assume. You say, well, he mentioned Jesus at that time, so it must be that he's born again. Hey, that some people, when something amazing happens, they just shout, Jesus is Lord. Especially with all the, what they call them, those clips, comedy clips and stuff like that. That happens. So for you to assume that just because someone mentioned Jesus, they are born again or they are devout Christians and stuff like that, you may be in serious error. So you need to find out whatever it is that is important to you. Find out, okay? And sometimes it's not by direct question. Sometimes it's by observation, okay? Now, somebody will say, this matter of observation, how am I going to do it? You want to know, does this guy have respect for just the average human being? How does he treat his fellow man? Assuming that sometime in our marriage, it gets to the point that we are so upset with each other that we look at each other at that point like you are just an ordinary human being to me. How does he treat other ordinary human beings? You need to find out. And are you going to ask him, hey, do you respect, or are you going to ask her, do you respect the average human being? Do you love your neighbor as yourself, or that kind of stuff? Are you going to ask that? They will tell you yes, of course. They'll say, of course, yes, I do. But then you could observe, how did this person respond to the guy who brought the food? How did this person respond to the person who was serving us at the counter? How did this person respond to that person who bumped into you guys because they were in a hurry? How you can observe. Another way to check whether people have patience, watch them when they're driving. Lagos traffic, you just see all kinds of manifestation. In fact, someone said, no, please, you cannot bring in our reaction to other drivers in this matter. Because the drivers on some roads, or they can bring out the worst in you, and if someone is supposed to use that to judge, it's not a very fair metric. Well, it's about you. What are you looking for? If you don't want your children to hear harsh words ever, especially coming from their mother or from their father, then it may be something you need to look at. Because if somebody behind the wheel is the kind that when that passenger just say what, and they say your father, and all of those things, then and then uses all the other abusive terms for other drivers on the road. You may want to check again. Does it extend from behind the wheel to behind the counter in the kitchen? Does it extend to the school people at the gate? Does it extend to? You just have to check those things. Yeah. So I'll go back to comments now and see. Let's see. Comments. Okay. This is interesting. So, okay. So, Eswola says, well done. Anytime King say, oh, thank you so much. Oyinlola Eswola. And then Pastor Remy says, what is PowerPoint presentation? Is used in corporate organizations, workplace. Some people use it for personal stuff, to gather their thoughts. It helps and then to present it. So it's just a nice way to put your information together when you want to share it with others.
I'm back.
Yes, it says Queen Deborah, I don't understand proper presentation. Okay, so I've just talked about that. And then Debbie has explained. Fantastic. Okay, you're welcome back, my dear darling Mr. Bature. Okay. So, yes, so we talked about that and we've said ask questions and then other things to just consider with this whole issue of first dates, right? Is be on time. Please just respect people. If you've said we're going on a date, then be on time. Why do you say let's meet at 7 and then you're late? Let's meet at 7 and you come at 7:30.
You're making it personal, making it seem as if I'm late. I'm not late.
It's not you I'm talking about, Jerry.
But I'm taking it personal now.
Yeah. So yeah, so please be on time. It's so important to be on time. Don't let the person feel like this person doesn't value my time, this person doesn't value my whatever, right? And then you show up late. That's not nice at all. Please don't do that. Okay, so be on time and then please make sure you're in the right frame of mind.
Yeah.
And that could include just dressing in a way that you're happy. There's a way how you dress affects you.
How you dress is how you be addressed.
Yes, there's that part. There's that part. And then there's also the part of for instance, you dress well, you look good, it boosts your confidence. There's also the part where you look shabby and then you're paying attention to, oh, my hair's not, and somebody's talking about it and you're talking to you and you're thinking, oh, my hair's, and you're adjusting things and, it affects your presentation. You don't need that. Okay? So, yeah. So, it's important for you to be in the right frame of mind. Dress in a way that makes you happy and then when you get to the place, assuming it is an eatery or a restaurant or something, so that you will be able to focus on the conversation, please order what you can afford.
I like that one. Order it according to your size.
Order what you can
order according to your size.
If somebody says, don't worry, I handle the bill. Be careful though, so that you won't wash plates.
You see, anybody that is handling the bill, you should ensure that the bill also reach where your hand they, so that they will not be handling and then having to handle you because of what bill that you came with.
Goodness.
You understand? Yes.
So make sure you can sort out the bill. Make sure that you're not at anybody's mercy, and please don't eat what feels like a hook. You know how you eat something when you finish eating as if they hooked you. You're now following because of what you ate.
Yeah.
You understand? Eat what if you say Jack or you say whatever, I will just bring out my own money and pay and going.
Let the bill be something you can hand, or that's something that your hand can reach. So that if the guy cannot do anyhow, or if he's a lady cannot do anyhow, but we're using guy because in this our culture most times it's guy.
So
guys they pay.
Not feel they have a right to certain things just because of what you ate.
Yes, now guys they pay. Maybe.
Yes. so that you can walk away and say good night without
In
feeling like you
peace.
are indebted to anybody. Yes.
Because sometimes it is what when a guy goes out and pays a certain kind of
He
money
expects
for a lady,
return,
you expect
return on
you
investment.
expect an ROI.
An
Because-
immediate return on investment.
Did he not spend the money immediately? What are you saying now? If he spent money immediately, we expect some immediate
Immediate expense
returns.
with immediate return on investment. So in that kind of case, if somebody is beginning to do anyhow, you just say,
Chinedu says, lateness is forgivable if the lovers are in Lagos.
In which case you have to tell them I'm 5 minutes away or I'm 10 minutes away.
Pastor Remy says, Annie, you would have allowed Queen Deborah to explain the PowerPoint to us. Perhaps they have a different meaning from your own. So you may be explaining PowerPoint as a corporate person, as an engineer, you're explaining PowerPoint. Debbie, please, if you have a different definition of PowerPoint, I'm here now. Explain to me. I'm always open to learn. Yes, I'm always open to learn.
Debbie, please give us your definition.
Give us your definition of PowerPoint.
Yeah.
You know, there's one of the don'ts of dating that me I am worried about.
Which one is that?
The don'ts, not the do's. The don'ts.
Are you pausing for effect?
It's not possible for effect. I'm looking for how to bring it out. Is it possible? Can I say that if a dating must happen, a dating must be happening? I don't even know how to ask it. I want to ask. I don't want to go on a date if it's not going somewhere. Is it possible for a date to happen and it's not going somewhere? As in, can we define the end of the date from the beginning? Why are you looking at me like this?
I'm looking at you because I'm wondering. Me too. I'm wondering where you're going.
Where I'm going back?
Because the second the dates are going, it's not going somewhere. So now I'm wondering where you're going.
Yes. Because I'm saying this for my sisters out there. Isn't it possible to request for the end of the date from the beginning?
Example.
I.e., I want to take you out on a date. Why? For what? For what purpose? To what end? What are we going to discover at the end of this date?
Yeah, it's possible. It's a reasonable question to ask. Yeah. I think it is a reasonable question to ask, especially if it's somebody you don't know. And then if it is somebody you know that has been your friend ever
exactly,
you will not be asking, so what changed?
Exactly, that's the place I'm going. Because we do this date, and all of this dating thing is Netflix, and okay, Netflix just came. Netflix is a young is film, and all of these things that are deceiving us. Well, if you want to date, I'm not saying you should not date, but know that if you are saying, for me, the key thing is if you are saying you are going on a date, you must have defined what calendar you are using. Because the date is a date on a calendar. Date now, where do you find dates on a calendar? And so if you are saying you are going on a date, you must have defined the calendar. And the calendar will tell you what your definition of the date is. Do you understand? So that's number one. Number two, what's the end game of the date? How can we just be dating? Some people will just date 10 different girls. And if you ask them, they say, no, it's just a date. No, what's the end game? So, girls, ladies, is it possible to not go on the date without a definition? You must be able to define for us what the end game is. You know, because guys, listen, I'm using style to help you. Because if the ladies are asking the right question, it means that you probably end up with the right lady. You won't just be dating all around town. So, ladies, I'm just helping you to ask the right question. Don't just go on a date anyhow. But time is valuable. Don't let some people be time wasters. Exactly.
Yes.
And the time wasters are just going every Friday. Every Friday you are going dates with different. What's going on?
Oh my goodness.
You know that if your mother was in your house,
You won't be going on so many dates.
Because everybody, especially if your mother is an Igbo woman, by the time the person is coming to you, "Nka wonye." So I mean, I'm just keeping it real. You
Yes.
know,
So,
Pastor Remy said, Microsoft PowerPoint here. What impact would that have? Microsoft software cannot stop a man who is camouflaging. Yes, I hear you, sir. Queen Debbie says, my definition of PowerPoint presentation is to be able to ask the right question to a guy exactly in order to collect data on whether the guy is right for you or not. It's all about data. It's all about data. My psychology class says nothing means anything except the meaning you give to it. In other words, everything is data. So when somebody comes and wants to take you on a date, that's data, sir. And then you ask him, okay, is the date? That's data. Can you complete the data so that it becomes information that I can use? Where is it going to end?
What's the purpose? What's the aim?
So that the expectations is very clear from the beginning. It won't be he led me on, or she deceived me, or she was showing me signs. Let's leave all these signs. Let's leave all this camouflage. Let's be very direct, especially when it comes to relationships. Let's be direct. Let's tell ourselves the truth. Chinedu says, it's the Nigerian mentality, Sha. A date must not compulsorily involve spending money or going to a fancy place, taking a walk, looking at the stars at night. Chinedu, God bless you. God bless you. Looking at the stars at night. Playing homemade games are dating. Yes. Playing homemade games, because when you define what it is, then we'll stop all these shenanigans and camouflaging all around the place. You get? Let's be real, so that we just take the thing as it is. So for me, I don't have a problem with the term dating. What I have is on what calendar are we checking it? What definition are you using?
This calendar, when you keep coming back to the calendar, are you trying to say that we have to keep time in mind as far to say, okay, today is this day, and by so time, if really this date is going to be anything, we should be thinking. So
the calendar I'm talking about is that when I'm making reference to calendar, I'm saying, 1st of June in Gregorian calendar is different from the 1st of this month in the Mayan calendar. It means that any calendar is what defines what the date is. So I'm saying, when I say the date on which calendar, is that they have to tell me what's the definition of date they are using that we are going on.
Okay, all right. So it's just to make sure that everybody's on the same
page. Everybody's on the same page. Let's not confuse. Let's not confuse ourselves. Let's not confuse ourselves. Thank you, Chinedu. That's very insightful. Thank you, Pastor Remy. That's very, very insightful. Do you understand? So for me, right now, if you ask me, is because somebody has asked me that question one conference I went, and they're asking, is dating wrong? So my answer to that question right now is, it depends on what date you're talking about. What is your definition of dating? That's what will decide whether it is right, wrong, or useless. we noticed that YouTube just went, and we didn't just want to end like that. We had to end the problem. It's technical difficulties. These are some of the challenges you have when you are going on a date. Network can cut in the process of the date. So we just wanted to let you know that common sense
is
not so common.
Yes.
So apply it for your date.
Bye.
Bye.
See you next time.
I'm here too.
Oh my goodness.
Thank you once again for joining us. We hope you got great value today. Our goal is to bring you valuable information to help you make better decisions in your life and relationships. Please do not forget to subscribe, share, and like.